Today is the first day that the burial sites for Jimmy and Rosalyn Carter have been open for the public to view. And I spoke with many visitors who tell me that this is their opportunity to remember the Carter legacy and to reflect on a couple who meant so much to the world. We were here when this home was dedicated to Tiffany Sims, and she was actually supposed to receive keys today, but there are no doorknobs here. But if you take a look on the inside, volunteers have been working for weeks, putting in hundreds of hours into building this home. And Sims says she's still grateful that she can pass this home down to her children and call it her own. Yes, I'm here at Northeast Middle School, and police say the incident took place last Tuesday inside of Northeast Middle School. The family members tell me that 75-year-old Bobby Williams was the victim that died, and police at this time have not released the name of the suspect involved. We're in day 2 of the Boomtown series, and we're getting a closer look at the city of Leesburg's vision for the downtown area. Drivers are encouraged to remember the SWAC acronym: seatbelts off, windows open, out immediately, and children first. Police say the suspect went inside this store, bought a lighter, left, and then came back and robbed the place. And as strange as it sounds, police say this kind of crime is not uncommon. Graceland Institute of Early Learning is currently being investigated after a 3-year-old child was spotted wandering away from the daycare at noon on Friday. I called the daycare to see if they would speak on the incident and was told someone would call me back. When we tried to speak to the owner in person, with WALB trying to see if someone would like to make a statement, no one came to the door. This is 6 days in the making, and it took jurors nearly 2 days to come up with this verdict, but Bernardo Thompson has been found not guilty on felony murder and aggravated assault charges. Cedar Hill Cemetery is at the center of a very serious investigation as authorities work to uncover how organs and an urn ended up in the grave of Essie Mae Davis. This all began after her husband, Alfred Davis, noticed someone else had been buried next to his wife, despite him purchasing both plots so his final resting place could be next to her. After requesting that his wife's body be moved to a new area in the cemetery, Davis says an urn and a bag of organs were also uncovered in her grave.
I had no idea of nothing like this coming up like that. No idea.
Davis told me after he saw the urn and the organs, he told staff to call the funeral director for Johnson & Son Funeral Home because they handled his late wife's services. It's the vault company's responsibility to make sure the grave is empty and ready for burial, but that company is hired by the funeral home. When I reached out to Ernest Johnson, the owner of Johnson & Son Funeral Home, for a comment, he wasn't very happy.
We didn't put that there. We didn't have no idea about it.
I'm not saying you put the bones there.
Yeah, but see, when you implicate this, it make it look like I was involved. I put a vault there. I had nothing to do with that other.
He later directed all of my questions to the Terrell County coroner.
But the organs were not in the vault. I can confirm that. They were not in the vault with the remains that was buried there. They were laying, from my understanding, to the side or at the head of the vault.
Coroner Marcus says the organs are currently being tested for DNA, and no one has been charged of a crime at this time.
Please do not hold anybody accountable for anything, because at this present time, no one has broken any law. In that we are working closely with GBI as well as Dawson Police Department to figure this out.
Details surrounding this story are very limited because this is an ongoing investigation that's being spearheaded by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. And as you can understand, emotions are high as families demand answers and accountability. I'm Katelyn Barker reporting in Dawson for WALB, your hometown news source. I'm standing feet away from where Isaiah Silva was hit by a car while walking home from school. And his father, Arnie Silva, says he's grateful his son is alive and says this incident is something he never would have imagined in his worst nightmare.
I am so upset. I am literally upset. You know, I've been up all night, haven't had any sleep, sitting there by the bedside of my child, watching him bleed out of his nose and his mouth in his head.
Investigators say they have no indication the driver was speeding. Tift County School Administration says conversations are the best way to keep student walkers safe.
Our job is to protect children. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. Accidents happen, and there are times when things happen that we wish didn't happen, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure that those things are prevented in the future as best as we possibly can.
GSP sent out a statement that says the 71-year-old driver immediately offers support to Isaiah after the accident, and she has not been cited at this time.
You know, why does it always have to take somebody to get killed or get, hurt like this for people to open their eyes and say, oh, well, maybe we need to do this? It shouldn't have to take this to happen for people to open up their eyes and say, oh.
Arnie Silva says his family has a long fight ahead of them, but they're grateful to the public for the flood of support and prayers they've received for little Isaiah. I'm Katelyn Barker reporting for WALB, your hometown news source.